of thousands of investors are gathering here in Omaha to hear from Warren Buffett. I spoke with him last night, and we talked about the leadership at one of his biggest holdings, Wells Fargo. Listen in. I don't know if you saw it, but Charlie gave an interview today to the Wall Street Journal, and he says that he wishes Tim Sloan was still running the bank. Do you?
Well, I was 100% behind Tim Sloan, as I told you, the day that it turned out that his resignation was announced. He told me the day before, but I think Tim Sloan, from everything I know about him, is an excellent banker, and I was delighted when he was running the bank, and it just got so he felt he couldn't be helpful under the circumstances that existed in Washington. So he decided to resign, but I would have never asked for his resignation.
There have been some other headlines that came out of that. Charlie said he doesn't want a Wall Street guy making the damn decisions around there. I think that's what he said, the damn decisions.
He may have even said worse than that.
Yeah, you have said similar things. You said it a little more politic than he did. But what's wrong with a Wall Street guy or a Wall Street woman? Why would you want a mainstream banker versus Wall Street?
Actually, there are plenty of people in Wall Street that would be very capable of, not plenty, but you know, certainly dozens, that would be capable of running Wells Fargo, right. And but they would not be. They would be piñatas from now until the election time, and they would face questions that aren't really questions, but senators and congressmen that are using a hearing to make a statement, and they wouldn't be listening to what they said or anything of the sort. They'd be poison in Washington. And Wells doesn't need poison in Washington. And frankly, anybody that wants a job and is good enough to take that job shouldn't want it either. I mean, it's a terrible way to spend your time.
Right, just in terms of what Washington's doing. So it's nothing you have against Wall Street. It's just
the climate. I mean, we own stock in J.P. Morgan. We own stock in Goldman Sachs. And, oh, sure.
Sachs.
I mean, no. There's a lot of people that are very capable of running very good banks. I think we've got the very best of them, it's just under these political circumstances, Wall Street associated with banks, associated with one that people can make political speeches about, is just going to be poison between now and the election.
Charlie had a few other things to say. Let me quote a few things to you, because he really laid into Dick Kovacevich and John Stumpf. Here's what he said about Dick Kovacevich. He never listened to anybody. He never stops talking, and he's full of himself. He would not learn anything from anybody. What do you think?
I like Dick Kovacevich. Dick expresses himself very forcefully. Charlie expresses himself very forcefully, and maybe the two don't mix that well.
But you like Dick Kovacevich?
Oh, Dick, I mean, you know, he was there during the financial panic, and you know, Wells came out of the panic better than I think any major bank. And when Wachovia needed saving, it was great that Wells was there, and Kovacevich, I believe, was running things. I'm not sure exactly when he turned the baton over to John.
Well, speaking of John Stumpf, here's what Charlie had to say about him. He said he was almost as bad, but not so loud and persistent.
Yeah, well, I don't. I would say he was as good, and then you could follow the rest of it.
You're going to have more things to probably clean up from Charlie after he says these things this week?
Well, yeah, this is just a warm-up for the next week. I'm glad you're sort of getting me in shape here.